A school starts to take on an identity, and that identity is a reflection of the students, the parents, the community, and the staff that work within the school. At Mount Royal and Virginia Park, even though both schools offer arts core programming, they are very different.
Inclusion is about making students, making families feel welcome in the school and in the community. The Tribes program really helps the students feel like they belong.
I had quite a lot of strong personalities that were rooted in a lot of unfortunate life stories. There are a lot of things going on that you really don't, you hope 9 and 10-year-olds don't have to deal with. And so a lot of them were coming to school with so much on their plate already, so much on their mind already, that when you're asking them to work with other people that they don't necessarily get along with, or they haven't built a relationship with, or don't know how to communicate with, or in turn are also dealing with all these other things on their plate, it was tough to make it work, and I didn't blame them. I said, you know, I understand. I get that it's tough. I have a lot of things that come to work with me, and we have to learn. We have to learn that.
When I first learned about Tribes and what the program could bring to a school, I saw it as being an opportunity to bring two very different and distinct campuses together.
I want to start with just kind of checking in and seeing how everybody is today. If you just want to share something that's been maybe pivotal in the last couple months that you've had, a Tribes moment perhaps. Remember, you have the right to pass if you can't think of anything or you're not comfortable sharing. We're all going to respect each other and perhaps show some appreciations at the end. And we're going to listen attentively while everybody shares.
I am really looking forward to having the common language throughout all of the grades and all of the staff that work in the school. The kids really do like circle time, but we are learning to practice the good listening skills that are so hard to do. So I'm trying to look through the book to see what other skills I can, or little energizers and things I can do for the inclusion, and just trying to get them to be better listeners.
I'm just going to pass this time.
We tried Tribes at our school, at Montrose School, and the success was so amazing that we wanted to bring it over to Mount Royal and Virginia Park. Because again, we wanted that common language, we wanted to build a sense of community.
When I think of the people I am privileged to work with, they don't get excited about the subject necessarily. It's about the connections they're making with the children and the families and the communities on a daily basis. Often as a teacher, you can feel very alone in your classroom. You feel as though you need to be able to have all of the answers. And sometimes the answers aren't easily found. And sometimes in order for us to find the answers, we have to have conversations with one another. Tribes allows us to have those conversations.
And that's what we're seeing happen at both schools or both campuses. And you know, to have teachers come up to me and say, wow, things are working in my classroom. I tried this energizer. And just the buzz within the staff room or at the water cooler and say, wow, you need to try this activity because it reaches kids this way. It is so powerful. And to see the teachers excited to and willing to try these new things within their classroom and to see it working, that's where the power is.
Being in small schools, you tend to be the only teacher per grade level, so it's really nice to have that collaboration with the other campus.
It's a process, it involves building a safe environment and a school culture and a community based around 4 principles and 4 agreements. Really, it's built around that core foundation that everybody has a right to learn and in a safe and caring environment.
Academic inclusion is making sure that the students are able to access the curriculum and the content where they're at. The social inclusion piece is making sure that all of the students are being welcomed and they're feeling like they're able to connect with somebody at the school. There are students that go through an entire day and never have an opportunity to speak with anybody. They may be academically at grade level, they may be excelling in other areas, sports or music. However, they don't socially feel like they belong. And so bringing the Tribes program in makes sure that they're able to connect with the students and staff in their school and feel like someone's caring and someone's listening to them.
A spirit buddy is when you have groups together and then you start chatting about how your day goes and how you're feeling and what you did, what you didn't
Yesterday.
what you can do, what and
Anything else?
yeah.
It's like checking in on the other person. They're not the people in your tribe that are in your spirit buddy group. It's just completely other groups. So yeah.
So that sounds like kind of a waste of time.
Not really, cause then some people cause if they're having a bad day, we need to know how they're feeling. Cause then if we wanted to play with them and we were being really happy because we thought they were happy, in a happy voice, hey, do you want to play with me? And then, but they've been having a bad day, so they would be get away, I don't want to play with you. But if we check in with them that's why we do it in the morning. We check in with them before, then it's better because we know how they're feeling and how to act with them.
It's about knowing each other, knowing and building relationships and getting to know the children, who they are as a real person, and that might be finding out more about their family, finding out about what they did on the weekend.
And Spirit Buddies, well, the purpose of Spirit Buddies was actually because in the morning, we do this in the morning. Miss A says that sometimes we have a lot of stuff that we want to share with each other, so Spirit Buddies is so we can get it all out, so we can share it with other people than having to do it in class.
Yeah,
So a time where you can share.
So
aloud.
if the teacher is talking, then you'll probably interrupt the teacher. So we have a special time where we can talk to friends and let them know how we're feeling. And
when we first sat down and were assigned our tribes, we learned so much information about each other just through a simple activity where we wrote our name and we drew symbols and pictures of things that we like and we shared them. I learned so much more about my colleagues than I ever would have in just a normal conversation, because there's certain things that just wouldn't come up in an everyday conversation. So it deepened our relationship with each other, how much we knew about each other, and from that I think developed more respect as well, knowing what other people had been through or where they're coming from.
I thought kind of a little bit silly and sneaky, because when I'm nervous, think of the dance meeting, right?
Yeah.
I can't stop talking.
It's day 3, and it's time for yoga.
Emotional regulation, it comes down to how kids can start to have some sort of metacognition about how they're feeling and what is driving them and where's their energy level, and how do they come into the situation.
Write on the whiteboards on these things.
whiteboard, we're supposed to use yoga. It helps you. Sometimes it helps you get calmer for us.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
When you deal emotionally, sometimes it's hard to find the words to describe situations, right? Because it hits us here. And tribes allows us to put words to some of those feelings.
It helps me not be too, my engine be too high, and it helps me calm down.
mutual respect. The right to pass and participate.
Attentive listening.
Personal best. Appreciation, no put downs.
And was there any other ones? Did everybody say all of them? I don't know.
There's 5. That's all I know.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5.
Yeah.
You got them?
Yeah.
One of your questions you need to ask yourself is, which tribe agreement do I think I could work on this month so that I could be a better tribe member in my school? I really focus on personal best in my classroom, feeling good about yourself. And I find that with a lot of students that they'll get their work done really quickly and they hand it in. And I ask them to go back and to look on it and to reflect, are you really happy with this or are you just done it? And doing that slowly can make them at some point just kind of switch and look at it through a different lens and go, well, is this really my best or am I just doing this quickly because I want to get on to the next thing, or that I'm bored with it because honestly I don't like to do it, but it has to be done. So I think it's that reflection piece is important, going back and looking at your work and saying, did I really do a good job or could I do this better? And peer assessment too, having other friends come and giving some feedback, I think also encourages that too.
And Miss A always says if somebody is not doing what you think they're supposed to be doing or what the teacher asks, you can, and you know that they're probably doing that because they don't want to do that, then you say, are you doing your personal best?
Yeah.
This is our tribes agreement that we're working on this week.
I will always do my personal best on every assignment, project, or test.
You're very good at doing your personal best.
What does, it's the mutual respect thing. I don't know what that means.
Well, it's kind of like all those things put together in one piece.
Yeah.
Except for
So-
personal best.
Because personal best, when we're doing stones, it's sort of like for just yourself.
Yeah.
It's
not
so-
for anybody else, just yourself.
So it doesn't really count as one, but we still practice it because we have to practice it. Yeah.
So what does that mean what does respect mean?
Like respect the people around you. It means be nice to them. Give them put ups, not put downs. Help them when they need help.
Listen to them.
Yeah, listen to them.
And if they're down, you could just cheer them up.
Yeah.
Okay, boys and girls, today we're going to do a funeral for put-downs, and this is an opportunity for us to forgive the things that have been heard or that we've said to ourselves or potentially said to others and move forward into a tribe and a community where we can be considering others and appreciating others with positive comments and positive feedback.
What we were doing this morning is putting bad things like put downs on a piece of paper and then crumpling it and throwing it in the garbage. It was to make put downs gone so they wouldn't happen anymore.
Now that we've let them go, we will be helping each other in our tribes to support each other, give appreciations, and grow positively as a tribe.
A lot of the tribe's process is about trying to work with other people.
Does everybody in your tribe get along?
Sometimes. Sometimes people don't get along, and sometimes they start fighting.
Yeah.
So tribes kind of tries to help them understand how to solve problems instead of being really in that high state. What's more productive? Let's use some iMessages. Let's talk about this and work through it together as a team or a group or a tribe.
So how do you deal with somebody that's really bossy?
Well, basically, we try and say,
my opinion matters too, not just yours. I think that's just the best way of explaining it. There's other ways too, but that's just the most like polite way to say it.
Kind of like, you're not the only person here.
Yeah.
We're not clones.
We try and compromise and make both things, like if last drama class they wanted to do ninja video games, well, we wanted to do Olympics, so we decided, Lyric, me, and Wendy, we decided to be the moms making supper in the kitchen while the kids were in the living room playing video games. And that worked.
So what's a compromise?
It's like when there's two sides that they both want something different, then you have to try and fit both of those things together and to make it work out for both of the groups.
We're dealing with similar issues when you've got some behavior problems or kids are coming back from recess. This happened. You can have those classroom community circles and deal with the issues.
We are going to start our community circle. So during our community circle, we need to remember to be mutually respectful to those who are sharing. We need to be attentively listening. So the person that's talking has the talking stick, which is Mr. Caterpillar today.
And students will often ask for a community circle within the school, saying, you know what, this issue happened outside, I need a community circle. And so depending on who's involved, it could be the whole class having a community circle, or it could definitely just be a small group of kids having a community circle with an adult not leading it, but guiding it. And within that circle, you solve the problem.
So how do we solve it so that in the future it's not? What about that agree to disagree part, Marsha? What would that sound like or look like?
It'd probably be, maybe Sharon can put it on the side of his desk.
So the farthest away from Calypso?
Yeah.
I want to give you a couple of appreciations, actually. You are doing such an amazing job. I'm so proud of you guys right now. You're being very honest while still respecting each other. And the attentive listening is off the charts today. We're doing such a good job at that.
How does it make you feel when you get an appreciation?
It makes us really good. It makes us feel happy and comfortable in the class.
I'd like to say good morning to everyone and welcome to our Appreciation Assembly. I'd like to thank all the parents for coming out this morning as well. So thank you for joining us today.
Okay, and Owen is being recognized this month because of the amazing change in his behavior. He had a hard time focusing in the beginning.
I've already given one appreciation to Sebastian. My second appreciation is going to be to Ella.
I appreciate Alex and Madison for saving a spot for me.
Even with those students that are quote unquote hard or difficult, I find that in the times that I have built relationships, and it's been immense growth on what they can do in the classroom academically, but you have to get past that relationship part before you can get to the academic. Because if a child isn't happy, if it's something that's going at home, or if they're hungry, or if they're just emotionally can't control their feelings, they're not going to be able to learn. And then I'm battling with that. That's not why I'm here. I'm not here to battle with children. I'm here to help them. That's my job.
Social inclusion is mental health. It's about emotional regulation and knowing that you're important and that someone cares for you. And when you're ready to learn, when you feel like someone's paid attention to you and understands you, and that you're cared for and you're an important person and you're an important part of the community and the school, then the academics follow.
I think the process has enabled us all to work together as a team, and it brings you closer together because you're building those relationships on staff.
That reoccurring theme or thread is always about empowerment and helping people find their voice.
Small at first, then
To learn more about what Edmonton Public Schools is doing to support inclusion, visit us online at epsb.ca/inclusive learning.